Epic Gaming Night is made possible by the support of patrons like you. Welcome to the Epic Gaming Night podcast, a podcast about the stories and relationships board games create. I'm your host, Roy Candy, and with me as always is Rob.
Hello, everybody.
What's going on, man?
Man, a lot.
A lot.
A lot is going on, but it's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. How about you, sir?
If it sounds echoey, which I'm pretty sure it does, it's because I'm in my living room now. But my living room is completely empty.
Ooh.
So, what's up? So,
hello, everybody.
Super stoked. So we're going to be talking about Rob and his adventures at Cabin Con today. Because you guys got to play tons of different games. I haven't really been playing a ton of games. I've been playing the Pack All the Boxes game. And if people are friends with me on Facebook, they probably know why I'm packing boxes. But I'm super excited to talk about that too. Adam was like, dude, man, stop trolling people. Just make it happen.
Just say it. I've been wanting to just say it for a while.
For like the past 4 episodes or something.
Yeah. This all happened very quickly too.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I want to talk about the Cabin Con stuff first. So...
Okay. It started off on a cold, brisk morning. Cabin Con was great. What we ended up happening is a couple guys couldn't make it because of work situations or prior commitments they weren't able to get out of or other stuff like that. So Friday it was just myself and Adam and Matt and Dustin, who your friend Dustin, but I believe he's now my friend. I think Dustin likes me. He's just kind of a hard cookie to read.
Dude, I love Dustin, man. Like I grew up with him, so. And
he's just very, just like
straight.
He's very straightforward, and he has a very dry sense of humor. Like there were a couple times where I was saying like, hey, grab that mat over there, and I was reading about a play mat, and he'd go over to Matt, like our Matt.
Yeah.
And grab him. You said grab Matt. And I was like, nope, that's not what I meant, but okay. But anyway, Dustin's a great guy. He's a lot of fun. So, but Friday night, I think it actually worked out really well that it was that way. It was just us 4. And more people definitely came on Saturday, and we'll get into that in a minute. But Matt brought his homemade pizza, wood grilling pizza maker, and it was so good. Oh my goodness. The pizza was so delicious. Having your own personal pan-made pizza with our own fresh ingredients and everything like that was absolutely wonderful.
That's awesome.
So we had that going on. But the first game we played as a group was, actually Matt didn't play with us because he was the last one to get there. We played Tiny Epic Zombies. Have you played that yet?
I mean, I played it when I was doing the video for the Kickstarter and stuff, but I haven't played
it's
like the production.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We played Tiny Epic Zombies, and Tiny Epic Zombies, one player is playing as the zombies, and then all the other players are trying to achieve 3 objectives.
Yeah.
To win the game, and you have so many turns to do so, and the turns are based off of there are certain things that can make the turns go faster or slower.
Right.
It's not like a set like you just have 20 moves to win the game or something like that. And I think one of the things that we had going for us was once so many zombies or something was put on the board, it wasn't that. It was once the player cards, the search cards. Once all the search cards were done, then you have one final turn. And Tiny Epic Zombies We had the 3 missions where we had to successfully find all the science lab stuff, but we had to do it in order. And they had like a little order thing in front of us, and so we had to do that. And then we had to rescue the different tanks and squads, get those back to our headquarters. And then our third mission was we had to drop off 11 or 12 bullets and 3 guns in the ammo catch. And see, what's cool about the game is your health starts at 0 and your bullets start at 11. And as you use bullets, they go down, and as you take damage, your health goes up. And so your character dies if your bullets and your health ever cross.
Yep.
You know, they could be one away, they could be right beside each other, but if they ever cross and land in the same spot or actually fully cross over, that's when your character dies. And our game, it came down to like our last turn. We won on our last turn. It was very an epic finish. Who was being
the zombie?
Adam Sparks was the zombie, and then Dustin and I. Dustin was a beast mode playing that game. They have the die that you're rolling that lets you know what, like how you do on your attacks. But there's this one certain symbol on the die that's called like overpower or over something, where if you roll it, you get to move and attack again. And we had this 2 times where we needed him to roll it at least 3 times a piece to clear out all these zombies, because you can only do 3 actions. But unless you roll that in your die, unless you get that in your attack, it allows you to move and to attack. And so, like, we needed to clear out these certain areas because if you're going to unlock one of the science stuff, the whole room has to be cleared out.
Right.
And so, man, he did it twice for us exactly when we needed it. And it was crunch time. It was a lot of fun.
I think one of the things I really like about that game is the fact that there's like, you always play with 3 objectives, and then there's a bunch of different objectives in the game. So the game can always be like mixed matched and like changed up. And like sometimes you're trying to do the science thing, sometimes you're trying to do a whole bunch of different stuff. You're trying to find like, oh man, where's the lost little girl? And like there's these different face down tokens, and you don't know which one the little girl is. Like all sorts of different stuff like that. It just makes it all sorts of crazy each time you play.
Oh yeah. And the zombie player, he's at the end of everybody's turn. When you're done with the turn, he's going to give you a new card. And what he's trying to do is the different spots on the map have colors in the corner. And if he guesses properly that you're going to end in a spot with the color card that he just gave you, then he gets to put out even more zombies on his turn. So he's not just giving you cards just to give you stuff. He's trying to guess, based off of the objectives, what room are you going to end in, so then I can give you more cards, so that way I can get more zombies on the board. And so I really like that too, because it was kind of like a guessing game of what's going to happen, what's going to go on. And Adam and I were synced. Man, he kept guessing where I was going to be about half of the time. And so
you were just flooding the board with zombies.
So there were a lot of zombies, and we were moving them around and stuff like that. But it was a lot of fun. Like, I almost want to say I don't want to almost. It's my favorite Tiny Epic game to date.
Oh, really? That's crazy. I do love that it has like those little zombie meeples and all the like crazy weapons. And
the little character stuff that you put on your meeples, like the chainsaw and the bazooka and stuff.
The item meeples for that one are
Tiny
so
Epic Quest,
good.
where you got to add the stuff.
Yeah, each one of those, the item meeples just get crazier and crazier, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, what are they going to do next? Like, they got this, and then
and this one had a motorcycle and a car, and I was able to get in the motorcycle on one turn and just run over a bunch of people.
I keep bugging Scott Alms. I'm like, when is the crossover pack coming? Like, I want to have like swords and shields in the zombie game, and then chainsaws in the Tiny Epic Quest game, and then mechs in every. Like, it would just be crazy if they just made like a pack that had just everything crossing over, and just made everything like replayable, but then gave you a huge reason to like own them all. Which, I mean, they're pretty that's the crazy thing about these games, is they're so inexpensive, you know?
Oh, you get all of this game for $20-$25, which is a lot of game. Now, my game costs a little bit more because I did have the playmat, and the playmat is really nice, but it's not necessary.
Right.
But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it, and I also loved it because it came down to the win. Like, you know, our last moves, what are we going to do? We had to kill off these zombies, and then we had to get we had to kill off these zombies in this room to discover the last piece of this science experiment in order.
Right.
And then the weapons that I had with me, I needed to run back and drop off in the center, in the common area. And like we had just had enough room, and we just had enough to be able to do this. And so like it came down to boom, knocking it all out, being able to have just enough. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Tiny Epic Zombies, it was like a lighter version of Zombicide, but different than Zombicide. With the fact that like one other
that price point difference is immense.
You see, that's the thing. Like with Gamelin Games, like, and we actually after we got done playing, we talked about them for a while. We didn't play as many games this weekend as I thought we would play. We played a lot, but we also like BS and goofed around a lot. But Gamelin, the games that they produce, like even Heroes of Legendary and Sea and everything, they're such good quality games at such an amazing price point. Like you get a lot of game for your buck. Like even Heroes of Legendary and Sea, you're getting a really heavy, really awesome and strong 4X game. That doesn't take that long.
And then they pimp out the game to like the max, you know, with like 3D constructs and all this stuff. It's like stuff that's not really necessary, but like just to bling the game out as much as possible.
Because they are fans of the industry.
Yeah.
Like, of course they want to make money and provide for the families, but they're not. They don't seem like the type of guys, and their product, especially at a price point, doesn't seem like they're doing it to just make bukus of money.
That's the thing I always say is like there's a lot of people out there that are all like, oh man, all these Tiny Epic games, I wish they were just full-size games. Well, not everybody gets review copies for free of games. Some people actually have to buy their copies of games, and some people don't have a ton of money that they can spend on $60 game after $60 game. When you can get these like $25 games that feel like a $60 game in this tiny box, and it's super portable, like it feels like you're playing like a full-size like big box game, but it comes in this tiny little box. And that's kind of what they're known for.
The playmat did. The playmat just made it feel a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But because we were watching Rodney Smith's video on how to play to get started, and he didn't have the playmat down, and the game still would have been fantastic even without the playmat. I like what they're doing for the price point of what they're doing for the people that don't have money to drop $60 on a board game.
Right.
You know, and even if you have the money, it may not always be responsible for you to drop $60 on getting the game and stuff like that. And so, you know, good for them. There are plenty of other games and plenty of other companies that are dropping that kind of money. And if that's what you want, do it. Great. But if you're a fan at all of zombies and you're a fan of the Gamelin Games, check this one out. It's got Robert Newman 2 thumbs up.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Well, I haven't really been playing much of anything, so I guess I just need to continue to listen to the awesomeness of Cabin Con.
All right. So after we played that game, I can't remember exactly what we played next, but we ended up playing. We played several games that night, but the next game I want to talk about, we played Monster Slaughter.
Oh yeah, I saw
Monster
pictures.
Slaughter is a brand new game that just came in from Kickstarter. I just got my Kickstarter in a couple weeks ago. And Monster Slaughter is you are picking a family. You have 3 different characters. You have a child, a mother, and a father. And you are playing in a cabin, and you are trying to kill the star players. And the star players are this group of college students, and you're allowed to have up to 8 star players, which could be a mix of the college students or a mix of what they call special guests, and the special guests have some really amazing powers in the game.
Gotcha.
But anyway, when you're playing the game, you have these families. What you're trying to do, your objective, of course, is to have the most points. You get points if you hurt them. You get points if you can like scare them properly. You can scare the players into another room.
Yeah.
And then you get points. What you're going to do, especially if you have star players, at the very beginning of the game, you're going to put down in order who do you think is going to die first.
Oh, nice.
And you'll get extra points if you guess which character is going to die first, like which college student or whoever's going to die first. And then you can get extra points because you get this one target icon, And what happens is you can put this target on a certain character, and if it's your family that deals the death blow to that target character, you then get even more points because you put them down as your target player to kill.
Yeah.
And everybody's doing this on all these same people, so you're kind of competing against them to make sure. All right, like my target person to kill was a nerdy girl. I was like, all right, I think she's going to probably be one of the last to die, and I'm going to put her down as my target player to kill, and so we ended up doing that. The game was a lot of fun. I had a really good time. The problem that we had with the game is we played the demo version, and what I mean by the demo version, we played the game where the game said, hey, if this is your first time ever playing, only play with these characters and only do this basic scenario. Take out these cards.
So you really want to play it again with the full game?
And it was cute and it was fun, but it was kind of simple. We didn't add any special guests or anything like that. And the special guests, that's where it makes it crazy. Because some of their abilities are like, you can move this, you can push guys out this way, you can do other things like this. Because see, in the game, like, for example, the dad characters, they can move 2. They can attack with 4 dice, and they can do something else. The moms can move 2. They only attack with 3 dice, and they can do something else. The kids can move 3 times.
Yeah.
But they only get to attack with 2 dice. And so what you're trying to do in the game is you're trying to position your characters across the map. So that way when you scare somebody or you move somebody, you move them into one of your already out there characters. So when that character reactivates, it can then try to kill them off. So you're trying to work with your team. You're trying to make your team work together to be able to kill these people off. When that's tough, because all the other players, all the other monster families are doing the same thing.
Right.
And so you can literally have people following you. And after you do a couple points of damage, they'll go in there and they will do they'll give them the killing blow.
Oh yeah, now, They'll kill steal you.
Yeah, they will kill steal you. Now here's what's cool in the game. When you're in different rooms, there is a search action. And when you search, what you're searching for is each family has a set of, like, I think it's 5 or 6 cards that are specifically against that family. So I played the werewolves, and so my cards were blue. And so when I'm searching and I draw the card, I'm able to play that card. Like, let's say your buddy Dustin. I was kind of mean to Dustin in this game. And it wasn't that I was trying to be. I just kept drawing his family cards.
Yeah.
And so when you're attacking one of the special guest people or just one of the regular characters, the other players are then playing against you based off of the cards that they drew. And so they're basically playing that college student. And so we're allowed to talk to each other and show each other our cards. And I was like, hey, guys, I have this card. We can stop Dustin from killing him. And what also was nice is I drew my top card for my family, so I knew nobody was going to play that card against me. And so, like, that was fantastic. And so, yes, we did pile up on him very badly. And so as you're going to do stuff, I would play cards to kind of counteract that. And so it was a lot of fun. So it was like, okay, I'm my family, but then I'm also these other characters to kind of work together. And so, because that was my main concern, is if we play this game, how are the NPCs going to protect themselves? How are they going to defend?
What families did Adam and Dustin play?
So Matt played this game with us too. So I was the werewolves. Dustin was like these Egyptian mummy family.
Oh, nice.
Matt was kind of like Frankenstein's family a little bit.
Frankenstein's monsters family?
They were a monster family. They were green, but they started with a G. I can't remember the name. It started with a G. And then Adam, he actually had this cool little family. They were like little gremlins.
Oh,
and
nice.
All of his characters were 2 and 2. They got to do 2 moves, and they got to attack with 2 dice. But we all had 3 characters. He had 5.
Oh, gotcha.
And his characters were able to spawn off of other characters. That was his special ability. Is they were small and they didn't hit for a lot.
If you dipped them in water, they multiplied.
Yes,
if you fed them after midnight, they got angry.
They did get angry. But so he was able to spread himself all throughout the room. And what's also cool is like the board, you play in the box, and the box becomes your play board, and you get like these doors and stuff like that, and you can relock doors behind people. And so if you want to break into a room, you got to attack the door, so that costs you a move. Well, Matt didn't do his math right, and it was hilarious. The final person that was alive in the water closet, aka the
bathroom.
The bathroom with the toilet. Because there was a bathroom with the sink and a tub, but then the toilet was in its own closet. And Matt runs in there, opens up the last guy, and then puts a barricade over the door so you can't get out. But then Dustin's character is also in that water closet, and Matt locked them in, and he ran out of turns, so then he couldn't attack the guy at all.
Wah, wah.
So he kind of made it wide open for Dustin to kill this guy. And that's when I had a lot of Dustin's cards, and I was like, no way I'm letting Dustin get this free kill to get all these points. And so Dustin's playing cards, and I'm playing cards.
So Matt locked him in the bathroom with the character he's trying to kill.
Yeah. Matt made it super easy for Dustin. Like, if I didn't have the right cards, Dustin kills the guy, no problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, he locked him in, and so what ended up happening is I stopped Dustin enough where he only did a couple points of damage, but he wasn't able to finish him off. I was able to take my werewolf dad, because the werewolves have a special ability where instead of they move 1, they get to move 2 spaces per move action.
Yeah.
Matt did get his revenge later on, and it was terrible, and we'll talk about that. They did some terrible stuff to me. I'm still kind of bitter about it, but it was amazing. I was able to come in there, knock the door down, and get the free kill. Not the free kill. I mean, I had one roll to do it, and I had my top card in my hand, so I knew they couldn't play that card against me. But anyway, Monster Slaughter. I'm really excited to play it again. I thought it was a lot of fun. Aesthetically, it's a gorgeous game. I love how the box all works together. It's like Ice Cool, where the box you transport it in is the box that you're playing the game in, type of a thing. It was a lot of fun. It was a really pretty game. And we're all being silly. It's one of those like take that games, because like you're trying to do something and I'm going to stop you, so it's like take that type of a thing. But that was Monster Slaughter. I'm super pumped that I backed that game. It was the new Lion Wolf Squid. We'll get to that, Adam. Adam, first of all, let me just say this about CabinCon. I am beyond humbled the fact that Mark Cale ended up driving up, Dustin ended up driving down, Dustin lives like maybe less than an hour away from the cabin, so it's a lot easier for him to come to the cabin than it was to go to your house.
Yeah.
And so Dustin driving down, Mark driving up, Adam flying in. I was extremely humbled for all these guys coming in from out of state and out of the area, because Mark ended up coming up on Saturday. You came Saturday afternoon. I had a buddy from church named Leo who came in. Oh, man, and that social deduction game that we played, I'll talk about in a second, that was so much fun. And he fit right in. He's yelling and accusing people and stuff like that. And nobody knew him except for me. That's and so awesome. He's kind of like this wild card, and they're like, who is this guy? We've never played games with him before. What's going on? But I was just beyond humbled that everybody came out and super thankful. I just meant it to be like an intimate small time with friends, and I invited Adam thinking, sure, I'll send an invite because it's always nice to invite. But he actually came, and he got snowed in. The third largest snowfall in North Carolina history.
Yeah, it
is on Sunday.
Intense.
And so Adam was with us Sunday, and we tried to make it to the airport on Sunday, but then we got stuck on the off-ramp of exit 193A for a little over 2 hours.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we got stuck, and I had to push us out, and Adam has a bad heart, and so, he can't push the car. Oh, Rob, you're gonna have to push, and I'm gonna drive. And so, help push our car, help push a couple of other cars, and then the plow that was coming, the plow got stuck. Ended up having this guy in this Jeep come and save all of us.
Dude, man, I went to my in-laws because we're moving out of the house. So the reason I was late to Cabin Con was because I had to move everything out of the house, like all the big furniture. And I hung out with you guys, and then I went to my mother-in-law's house, and then I spent Sunday there. But I was like, I need to go back and like clean this house up. So like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drive back, and man, it was kind of terrifying driving back to my house on Sunday night. Because it was just like the roads everywhere. Like I was like fishtailing and all this crazy stuff. So I'm sure when Sunday you guys were trying to do it Sunday afternoon, it was probably real bad.
Sunday afternoon was really terrible. And what hurt us is as we were getting off the exit, there was a guy who got stuck and stopped right at the top of the exit. And so he was positioned right in the middle of the road where we could not go around him. And so that's what got us stuck.
That's one of the things is, you can't stop. Like you have to keep speed. And that's the thing with me is like I have a front wheel drive like car. I don't have I don't have 4-wheel drive.
I don't have 4-wheel drive either.
So I just gotta like if you're a 4-wheel drive truck slowly going up a hill, that's nice for you. But I have to stop on the other side of the hill and wait for you to get out of the way because I can't slowly go up the hill. Because if I slowly go up the hill, I'm stuck. So I'm like, go guys, go.
So that's how we got stuck. And then we ended up sliding back down and moving stuff. I will say this. It was a pain in the butt, and my thighs were frozen from pressing up against multiple vehicles to push vehicles and stuff like that. But it was an adventure. Like, I'm not glad that it happened, right? But I am glad that it did happen, and it did happen with Adam. Because, like, we were joking about it, and we were, like it.
Oh yeah, Adam was like, "Oh, it's not gonna be bad. There's snow's nothing down here. You guys don't even know what snow is."
Even by his standards, he's like, "Bro, this is like really bad."
Well, and that's the thing about North Carolina is we don't have the trucks to clean it, like
not nearly like they do.
So,
but Adam was a great sport. I mean, he could have been all pissed about it because he was supposed to fly out Sunday.
Yeah.
We ended up getting his flight changed to Monday at 1, and we couldn't leave that morning. If we were going to make it, we had to leave by 9. We couldn't make it then. But then all of a sudden, like, there was a break in the weather. And so he was able to get his flight changed to 5 on Monday, and we were able to get the car out. I couldn't even park the car at my house getting back after we got stuck. Because even after we got pulled out, we still got stuck multiple times, and I and another guy ended up pushing our car uphill in the snow while Adam is, like, flooring it, and the car's not going anywhere. It's just me and this guy pushing the car. Anyway, but it was fun. And then Adam drives off, and I'm like, just keep going so not to get stuck. And he sticks his head out the window. He's like, I'll always remember you. And I'm like, at one point, awesome. You better stop because I'm not walking all the way back home from where we're at. But anyway, Adam was so much fun. I was like,
nice, thanks for the car, Rob. See you later.
And he was a good sport, and we ate his stupid, terrible flaxseed sprouted bread because he's on this crazy diet because he had a heart attack. And so like we made fun of him a little bit. But my wife and I, we've been on this diet food programming thing. And so we had like some good, healthy food in our house.
Yeah.
And so like asking Adam what could we cook for him, what could we do, and my wife was absolutely amazing because I was spent, bro. My arms still hurt. I can't raising them above my head. The adrenaline was pumping, like multiple times. It was like, the mom lifting her car off of the little one to save it. I was doing that, pushing vehicles. Like I picked up this one guy's front part of his car.
Holy crap!
Where I was like in beast mode, but when I got home, I was like, I'm going to die. Nobody touched me. Anyway,
sure,
so
man.
Adam,
dude, man, I was hoping to be out of this state before all this white stuff came down.
Oh. So we played Monster Slaughter. Loved Monster Slaughter. Very excited that I played that. But then we played this other game that night. Not Alone.
Oh yeah, you guys are saying awesome stuff about it.
So Not Alone is this little game by Stronghold Games where it is one person is the monster. And there are these 6 spots out, 5 spots out. There are 5 original spots out that the monster, they've got 2 tokens. They're trying to target one area and then have the monster creature enforce its will on another area. And you as the players, you have this hand of 5 cards, and you are trying to choose a place that the monster won't land on. And if the monster lands on you, not only do you lose a will, which is a little red cube, but then the monster gets to move up in points.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're trying to be the first team, either the monster team or your team, the first team to reach the game, the game goal. And so Not Alone, it's been out for a while. I picked it up and I was actually looking at trying to sell it. I was like, you know what? I bought it, not ever getting it to the table, I'll sell it. And I was like, for some reason, I brought it to Cabin Con. I think for a lot of people, not for me, but for a lot of people, that was like the surprise game of the weekend. We played that game a bunch. We had a lot of fun with it. And what you do is, like, one of the cards allows you to buy new cards. So you have your numbers 1 through 5. And then there's a whole nother row of cards where you can buy like 6 through 10, a little bit like Machikoro, a little bit, where once you get to a certain level, then you can go to these other stuff. And so you can buy 6 through 10. And then on one of those cards on 6 through 10, it allows the humans to move up their thing an extra space. And so the humans can kind of move at double speed because the monster doesn't have as nearly as far to go as the humans have to go. Well, we were playing the game, and Adam was just synced with me, and it was so flippin' annoying. The first 7 turns of that game, everywhere I went, Adam put an alien piece down.
There you go.
So for the first 7 turns, I was like, I can't do anything.
See, Adam's been listening to our podcast and hanging out and talking with us in chat. It's all been research, Rob. It's all been research for Cabin Con, so he could come and destroy you.
After he put his like little token down and stuff like that, he'd like look up at me, and I'd just have this grimace on my face. And then, like, sometimes, like, towards the end, we just start laughing, like, okay, like, I got you again? Yeah, you got me again. I got you again? Yeah, you got me. And by the end, it was like, flippin' Adam, what are you doing? Are you looking at my cards? Like, by the end of, like, the 7th turn, I'm, like, yelling at him, you're cheating, bro. Why are you looking at my cards? There's no way 7 times in a row you're able to do this. So the funny thing is, so Adam was, like, a turn or 2 turns away from winning the game. And we were not even halfway yet on our human track to win. And your buddy Dustin's just giving me looks like, well, he hasn't caught me once yet. Adam hasn't caught me once. Like, what are you doing, Rob? We're losing. This is your fault, Rob. He's not saying it, but his face is saying it. And you know what I mean. His face
You're bringing the team down, Rob? You're bringing the team down?
He was 1 turn away from winning the game. We then went every single turn without him catching any of us, and we won the game. We came back and won. And what I ended up doing is I would make my initial thought of where I wanted to go. And then I was like, nope, don't go there. And then I'd think, where do I want to go again? And then I would say, no, not to go to the second place. And so the 3rd spot in my head is where I'd go. And Adam never went to the 3rd spot in my head. He'd go to the first 2 spots. And so it was good because the first 7 turns, he'd keep catching me, so I couldn't buy those extra spots 6 through 10.
Yeah.
So I was still 1 through 5. So, it was kind of not easy, but it was easier for him to catch me. But what helped me out was Dustin and Matt were starting to buy those extra spots. And so he's now trying to catch them too. And so instead of guessing on a row of 1 through 5, he's now got to guess on a row of 1 through 10. And he's only got 2 things. And after the humans reach a certain level, then he gets an Avenger chip, which it's a chip that has the Avengers logo on it. It is the Avengers logo. I don't care what Stronghold says. Stronghold makes really good games. They just don't care about their components or like their font. Like some of their font on this game was like super cheesy. And we're like, you know what? The game's good. That's Stronghold. That's Stephen Buonocore. Look, Stephen Buonocore prints off prototype edition games in just like really nice glossy format. But it's not like, what's like Terraforming Mars? That game could look so much better.
Yeah.
But it was just like, okay, yep, this was a prototype. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, send that off to the printer and make 10,000 copies of this.
That's
right?
awesome.
Like, it's not that uniform. Well, the same thing with Not Alone. That was the Avengers logo and some of the other stuff. But Not Alone was a lot of fun. We ended up playing that and having a good time on Not Alone. My wife's, you may see her come down the stairs. We got packing and stuff to do. We have to leave first thing in the morning. We had a family emergency come up. So that was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday, we played one of my new favorite social deduction games. It's not up there with Deception, Murder in Hong Kong because it doesn't offer as much. But we played Hail Hydra. Hail Hydra is simply amazing. absolutely love Hail Hydra. Anytime I see anybody pull out a Hail Hydra, I will play that game.
That's awesome. I really want to try it.
I want to say I like it as much as Deception and Murder in Hong Kong, if not a little bit more right now. It's just a different social deduction game. Gotcha. Where Deception shines, it's not only is Roy the killer, but how did he do it and what evidence did he leave behind? Mm-hmm. Where in Hail Hydra, you're trying to figure out who the bad guys are, right? But here's the other thing. So not only in Hail Hydra are you trying to figure out who the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are and who the Hydra agents are, but let's just say that the Hydra agents do come out. It's got a little bit of that Dark Moon, a little bit of that BSG, that once they come out, they get to keep playing, and they can help the villains destroy the city, New York City. And so just because you're outed as an agent doesn't mean that you're done. And so the game plays where everybody picks a superhero, and every superhero has its own power. And like, for example, Daredevil's superhero power is everybody has to close his eyes. And when they close his eyes, he's able to look at one card that somebody's put into the pot as we contribute for numbers to try to beat the villain. Right. You know how like when you're playing Marvel Legendary and you need so many points to beat the guy?
Yeah.
That's how it is with this. There's different levels of bad guys, and they have these different points, and everybody's going to put in a card. And you're not allowed to say your number, but you can say, hey, I'm putting in a low card, or I'm putting in a high card,
nice,
or a median card. And you're trying to get enough numbers to beat that guy. And so Daredevil, if I tell you, hey, guys, I'm going to put in one really big, high, good number, but then I lied and I put in a low, bad number, he can, after looking at one card, he can, like, call me out on it if he doesn't trust me and stuff. And, like, Captain America.
Does the game ever force you to do bad things as a good player?
Yes, and here's why: the cards that you're putting in are all randomly dealt to you, and so there were times where Matt was a good player, but he only got dealt bad cards.
Yeah, but you can still tell people, "Hey, I just don't have anything good. I'm really sorry," though, right?
Yeah, but why not also say that as a Hydra agent and just try to?
I mean, that's
try to hide. Just like, hey, guys, sorry, I'm really good, but all I have is bad stuff.
Right.
Because Spider-Man, the first game we played, Adam was Spider-Man, and he has this ability where he randomly draws two cards from each person, one to his left and one to his right. And he gets to look at your cards. And so if you say, all I have is bad cards, and Spider-Man then does his ability, and he now sees that you have a good card, well, why are you lying? Right? Like, why are you lying? Mm-hmm. And so it's just a lot of fun. All the players and all their characters, they work well together. And even on the back of the card, when on the back of your character card, it tells you based off your power when's a really good time to play your card as a good guy or a bad guy. It even says, like, hey, if you're a Hydra agent and you're Spider-Man, you may want to do this so you can see what everybody else is doing, or you can try to give cards to your so-and-so. Or if you're a Daredevil, you can do this to kind of lead suspicion off of X amount of person.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so you're trying to play the game where you're defeating all of the bad guys and try to figure out who the good guy is and who the bad guy is. And then our last game, so my buddy Leo's there, Mark's there, I'm there, Dustin, Matt, Adam, and Dustin gets caught in the lie. And that's how he came out as a Hydra agent. And my problem is I talk too much. So from the get-go, everybody's like, Rob, you're Hydra. Rob's Hydra. And I was the first game. I was Hydra. But then the second game, Rob, you're Hydra. You're Hydra. And I'm like, bro, I'm not Hydra. I really am a good guy. And so Dustin gets caught in the lie. And Matt and I caught him on it because he made a comment about, yeah, guys, I've got 3 cards I'm putting in for this fight. One of them is going to be a really low bad card, but 2 of them are going to be really good cards, right? And then when we flipped over the cards, he was like, yeah, I told you guys 3 good cards. And we were like, no, you didn't. You said one of them was going to be bad. And none of them were bad. But the reason why he did that is he was trying to get my buddy Leo to use Black Panther's power. And Black Panther's power was he will he will double, and all your powers you only get to use one time in the game.
Yeah.
He doubles the power necessary for the fight.
Yeah.
And so if you get like 7 points but you need 9 to win, it makes it 14.
Dang.
And we weren't even on the boss guy yet. So Dustin was trying to get my buddy to use Black Panther's power. So when we got to the boss, it'd be even harder. And so he made that little lie, and everybody put in good cards. Well, we remembered Dustin lying. And then Mark Kale lied. He said he put down cards that were my cards, and I was like, no, those are my cards. And remember when we played Resistance and you were smacking the table? Bro, why did you just do that? I know you're the bad guy. I had that moment with Mark. I was like, Mark, you're a liar. You're going to the hot spot. You're a liar.
The hot spot.
I know what you are. And he's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And Dustin was the other agent. He's trying to defend him. Anyway, Hail Hydra, so much fun. The components are fantastic. The cards and the board and everything look fantastic. For like $30, I think it's one of the best quality games you can get out there for its price point. And for like non-gamers, right, if you're trying to introduce them to a social deduction game, everybody knows Marvel.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody knows Marvel. It's just one of those great games that you can throw in there. And as long as you have a group that they're okay with yelling at each other, like Hail Hydra is just, it's so great. Like,
it makes me happy now one of these games where I go to a con,
I'm going to bring it.
Makes me happy that these companies are coming out with these like really good like IP Marvel games, you know, because sometimes you get these games and you're like, oh, is it going to be good or is it going to be bad with these IPs on it? But like Thanos Rising and then this Hail Hydra both seem like they're like solid games, you know.
Yeah.
And with awesome components, so that's really cool.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We also played The Mind. I've talked about The Mind. We did that Friday night. Saturday night, we also played Tales of Arabian Nights.
Oh, you guys actually did play?
We did play, but I was exhausted and tired. And I was also cleaning up the house and trying to get everything ready to go so we could all leave. So that was fun. But here's the game that I really want to talk about, of the game of the weekend. Western Legends.
Yep.
It's grown on me. It is such a great game. I liked it. We played with a full 6 players.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's possibly the best way to play that game. Because with 6 players, the board is so small, right? It's not a small board, but with 6 players, it's really so small that you're on top of somebody. And if you're not directly on top of somebody, in one move, you're on top of somebody if you want to be. Like in Western Legends, you guys have heard me talk about it before, where you have the betting, you can play poker, you can rob each other, you can become a sheriff, you can become an outlaw, you can mine for gold, you can fight bandits, you can do all this other kind of crazy fun stuff. You can sell money off and get victory points for just selling off money. You can take cattle and sell off cattle to the competing cattle ranch, or sell them off to the railroad system and have them shipped off. There's a ton of stuff you can do in this game.
Yeah.
And the cards and the components and everything, so much fun. We had an absolute blast playing Western Legends. But here's what happened. Here's where Lion Wolf Squid Part 2 came. Lion Wolf Squid. Okay. For those that don't know Lion Wolf Squid, I was playing Game of Thrones. I got up to go to the restroom. I did wash my hands. I came back. Half the table had made an alliance to come destroy me just because I literally left to go to the bathroom.
This time you were making burgers. You were trying to feed everybody.
I left this time to cook in between turns. I left to cook in between turns, 4 people. And what ended up happening is, so we're playing for like maybe an hour and a half, almost 2 hours at this point. And I was like, all right, it's almost 7 o'clock. Let me start cooking burgers. I knew, because what I was doing, my character, I played this Indian guy, and he had this cool power where he was legendary. All the spots that were like unavailable for other people to walk through, my character could walk through. Like those red spots on the map, Roy, yeah. My character could walk through them. And every time I did walk through them, it healed me. So if I was ever wounded, I don't have to go to the hospital. I just walk through those, they're called the mesas, and my character could go through them. Oh, and I can move all the way through them as one space. It didn't count as all 4 of my spaces. I can move through them as one space, and it healed me.
Nice.
And so, like, if I cornered it right and angled right, I can move like really far actually in the map because of that. But my character started off on this mine, just like the character I had last time. Remember,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
started off that mine. I did the gold, so I did the mining this time, and my character started off the mine, so I started mining for gold, and I was getting victory points or legendary points. You get legendary points. You get one legendary point per gold nugget you sell off, and so I kind of stayed in the corner by myself. I made like my cool little system. I'd get my gold, I'd go to the bank, I'd sell it off, and then I went to the store and I bought a mule. The mule allows you to carry 2 more gold, and if you ever sell 4 or more gold,
You get an
you
extra
get
victory
one
point.
additional legendary point.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I never sold less than 4, and so I was getting 5 legendary points, when other people would only get 4. Um, and so I'd upgraded the mule, and so I had my whole little system going. And here's where I made a mistake. My buddy Leo, before I got up to go make dinner, actually, no, I was in the process of cooking. I came back and during my turn, you know where you do those side missions where like you spend $80 in the store, get your thing
Yeah,
here if
yeah,
you do
yeah.
this. So I did one of those side missions and my token was on there and they were like, hey, you can get this item, or you can get both of those items for free if you want to go on the wanted track. And my buddy Leo, he was on the wanted track because what happened is Mark, Leo, and Adam all played poker at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and Adam won poker twice. So then everybody went and robbed Adam. Everybody, they would just go attack Adam. And so for like the first couple of turns, like Adam is like really rich, and then by like turn 3, he's robbed, desolate. He's headed to the hospital. He's like down. He got all shot up. He's literally he's down as low as he could go. It was hilarious. And so he's all doing that stuff. And so my buddy's like, hey, why don't you just go bad with me and get those items for free? And I was like, you know what? Why not? Because one of the benefits of being on the wanted track is you get a legendary point at the end of every turn.
Yep.
Where on the martial track, you get those extra points if you land on a certain space or at the end of the game. And so you can get more points hypothetically from the wanted track if you stay wanted at the beginning. So I was like, sure, I'll go wanted. I got my legendary point. My turn ended. I'm in the middle of flipping food for my friends, and all of a sudden I hear this roar. Rob, come in here. We need you. And I'm thinking, okay, it's my turn. So I turn down the grill a little bit, and they're like, hey, we sent the sheriff after you. I'm like, what? When you're wanted, the other players, there's cards that they can play that either they can go try to arrest you, or you can play a card that moves the sheriff to go arrest you. Roy,
Yeah, yeah.
4 times in a row, they sent the sheriff after me. 4 times in a row, the sheriff was sent after me. When you're playing this game, you have a deck of cards that you get as you accumulate throughout the game. So the first couple of times, I was like, fine, screw it. I can kill the sheriff. I'm not even worried about it. I was puffing up my chest. I was like, I'm good to go, right? And I did. 3 times in a row, I fought off the sheriff. After the second time, though, I was like, guys, why are you guys doing this? Like, stop this. Like, guys, please. Like, why are you doing this? Please, because 2 battles, you go through a lot of cards, in these battles. And you can carry up to 5. And they were playing these cards that made me discard cards as well. So I'm down to, like, bare minimum cards, and it allowed me to draw a card. Anyway, I was starting to hurt. I was starting to feel depressed. Like, guys, like, this is so mean. Like, please stop. Please stop. And they're just laughing, and they're like, no, we want to keep playing, and you're going to win soon. And if we don't do this, you're going to get the victory condition next turn, and we need to stop this. And so it finally comes on Matt's turn, and they send the sheriff after me. And on the 4th time, the sheriff finally arrests me, finally gets me. And man, they hit me hardcore. Well, here's the problem when you get arrested by the sheriff and you're on the wanted track. 1, you lose your wanted track. 2, you lose half your money. 3, you lose half of the gold that you had on you.
Oh, no.
So I lost half of my stuff, which I needed because my turn was next. Matt was right before me.
Right.
I was going to go turn that stuff in. to maximize points.
And we notice how Matt is not on the podcast tonight. He's in shame of what he did to you.
Well, no, here's the genius of Matt. And he should be in shame. So here's the genius of Matt. So Matt convinced Dustin and Adam to also do other stuff. And Matt, when you're looking at the legendary points, you're like, yeah, there's really no way. Like Matt and Mark are at the back of the game. Like they're really not coming back. Like there's really not a way for them to win. Matt ended up doing this combo because he had gotten far enough on the Marshall track where he was now on the third tier.
Uh-huh.
And when you land on the third tier, there's a certain spot where you land on this, you get 6 additional legendary points.
Yeah.
Matt, in 2 turns, ended up scoring almost 17 points. I think it was either 16 or 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
Came back and won the game. Scored 33, won the game. We were playing the normal version where you play up to 20. And after you initiate the end game condition, that round ends, and then everybody else gets one more round.
Mm-hmm.
So he initiated it, and then he got to do one other full round where he scored like another 6 or 7 points, and that's what ended up scoring him the 33. But he was only able to do that because everybody else had spent the majority of their stuff stopping me.
I think it's kind of interesting because it seems like a very different game from when you play 3 players. When you play 3 players, it's like, oh, the map feels really big and you're all kind of spread out. But in this 6-player game, you're just all on top of each other, and if someone's running away with it,
they would play poker all the time. And see, what's cool about poker is you don't have to be in the same spot. Mm-hmm. You just have to be in that same city with them.
Nice.
And so they were like, "Hey, I'm playing poker. Anybody want to play poker?" And so Mark Kale was like, "Oh yeah, I'll play." And I don't think Mark Kale won a single hand of poker. I felt so bad for him. He's such a good sport. And Leo was playing poker, and
That's awesome.
That is such a fun game. That's like. It's almost an insta-buy for me. I'm so glad I backed it on Kickstarter. But that's Western Legends by Colossal Games. That was the big game where I just got like screwed over royally in the game. But it was fun, you know. It wasn't one of those games where like it was just mean. It was fun, and we were all laughing. And I was a good sport about it, and they were good sports about it. And Matt was just like the evil genius, hiding in wait like the super evil guy, and he got everybody to do what he needed, and he scored all the points, and it was just, man, it was a blast. It was a really, really fun night, and that's the one that I'll say that like we ended on, even though we played a couple more after that. But that was, to me, that was the highlight. That and Hail Hydra. Well, I don't know, man. Tiny Epic Zombies was an epic ending. Not Alone was an epic ending. Monster Slaughter was fun, and I'm excited to play it again. But Western Legend to me was probably the game of the weekend. It was
I'd
a
really
game
like to play it again under different circumstances than the first time. I'm just kidding.
No, I agree with you. As well as with like, well, now that we know the rules a little bit better,
I want to play with some of the expansion stuff.
Well, see, we also did not play with the expansions.
Yeah, I'd love to see some of the different items.
Well, it adds different items to the thing as well as new characters that you can choose from. But it was just, man, it's such a fun game. It's one of those games that I think I'll bring. Like I said, we have to leave tomorrow morning now to Arkansas for anyway. I'm bringing this game with me. I'm only bringing a couple of games. This is one of the ones I'm bringing. It's so good. It's so fun. To me, it's even more now a Xayah killer. And the reason why it is because it's so small. Mm-hmm. And it's not so small, but it's just a normal sized board. Where Xayah, you can spread out Xayah and be as crazy as you want and essentially not see anybody. But this game, you're right on top of each other. So when before it was Adam's turn, he won all this money from poker that before he even got to his turn, everybody then robbed him and was taking his money from him. And so on his turn, he spends it going to the hospital. Like, I love that, because you're all right on top of each other. It was hilarious. One rule we did find out, though, because my buddy Leo robbed him twice. You're not allowed to do that. You're only allowed to rob a person one time on your turn. So Leo robbed him, and then Mark Kale robbed him, just back to back. Just took everything from him. He was all shot up. It was a good time.
That's awesome, man.
So you have some big news that you needed.
Yeah, I guess we should talk about it. A couple people have been saying congratulations in chat or whatever. We've been hinting around some news, and it finally became public. This
just happened, people. Like, not even a month ago.
Yeah. This is crazy. So apparently the Dice Tower was looking for an editor, and I was like, holy smokes, that's crazy. And as soon as I saw the post, because Tom like posted it on social media, and I'm just like, email sent. Like, I literally just replied email sent. I like immediately emailed him like, dude, give me more information, let me know what's up. And so it was kind of funny because a bunch of people were like liking the fact that I said email sent, like a bunch of like my friends and stuff like that, because I have a pretty decent amount of friends that do board game media and do all the board game media stuff, so it's pretty fun. So I know a lot of the people that do all the Dice Tower stuff and everything. But I was like, oh man, I really want to try to do this. Because I don't know if you guys know, my job situation's been kind of meh, and I've been really looking for something else and something different. So I was like, this would be like amazing. So then I got an email from Tom being like, oh, well, we have a lot of people that have applied for this. I'll get back to you in a while. So just a bunch of other stuff was going on. I actually was doing other stuff at my job too. I don't even know how much I want to get into that. But yeah, so then I finally got back, and Tom sent me like interview questions. And he's like, oh man, yeah, we know you, Roy, and everything. That's cool. Here's all the interview questions. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to just like send him back the answers to these interview questions. Like, I made this whole, I stayed up literally all night. Like, I got home from work like super late because I work overnights. I got home from work super late, and I stayed up until like 7 in the morning, which basically means I don't get sleep. I stayed up till 7 in the morning, doing like a video and making it and editing it and doing all that stuff. And I got to edit it and send it to Tom, like answering all the interview questions because I want to do it face to face and try to make it edited up as best as I could. And I was super excited about all this stuff. But anyway, I ended up talking with Tom back and forth on the phone a bunch for the interviews, and ended up working it out. So I am going to be the editor full-time for the Dice Tower, which does mean that I'm going to be moving down to Homestead, Florida, away from North Carolina. So super huge life changes, super crazy, but it's like a really exciting opportunity. It's like a really good time too, because my wife was looking for something new as well, so she's excited about starting over and doing stuff down there and finding new opportunities for her down there as well. So yeah. Nick says I should post that video. I don't know, it's kind of cheesy because like I'm talking to Tom directly in the whole thing. So, but it's on the YouTube channel. It's just not listed. But good times. But yeah, I'm super excited and super pumped. Like, I've been friends with the Dice Tower dudes and doing a bunch of different stuff at different cons. Me and Rob went down there and did the live show with them. I've been doing Favorite Game Friday every week. And it was kind of interesting because there was a back and forth with Tom, because he's like, this is not a position where you're supposed to be in front of the camera. Like, it's all behind the scenes and all editing. And I'm like, that is awesome. That's cool. I am down with that. Like, it's way better than stacking boxes on pallets in the middle of the night all night long for 50 hours during the week. Like, my life would just be better doing anything other than that, pretty much. Because I mean, at my current job, I've really taken a hit a lot on like both the board game media stuff. It's been hard for me to keep up when you're working 50 hours a week in the middle of the night. I mean, it's been a miracle that I was been even able to do the podcast, because like I was supposed to be at work during like the podcast time, and just because I got this job through Hector and had always done it that way, they let me have when the podcast was off to do that. But I was missing lots of hours doing that, but then I was still getting like 50 hours around that too. So I was missing a chunk, and then like still going in for massive amounts of hours, getting out at like 6 in the morning some nights and stuff. It's just a huge change in my life. Super excited to be joining with the Dice Tower crew and the Dice Tower guys, and I'm really excited to see what happens moving down there. Cool thing is, Tom said no matter what, he wants me to continue doing Favorite Game Friday, and after talking to him about it, like, we're still going to continue doing the podcast, and he wants to bring that in more with like the Dice Tower Networks type stuff. So hey, get to continue doing the podcast, get to continue doing what I'm already doing, and get to go do board game media full time. Like, I'm super stoked. I'm sure I'll have a ton of things to talk about on the podcast, seeing that I'll be able to be around board games all the time, you know. So Rob's had a hard time trying to not talk about it. Say what?
Are you able to talk about the other thing?
What other thing? No.
You know what I'm talking about?
If it has anything to do with
Yeah.
The boards, then no.
Okay.
Rob's like, Roy's got more secrets. Let's talk about those too. Okay.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Roy does have a lot of stuff going on, and not just as his friend or co-host, but I can't think of much of anybody else who deserves this opportunity than Roy. He loves doing this. He loves you guys. Like, he truly does. Like, this is not just I want to be internet famous. I want to talk on a show. Roy loves board games.
Yeah.
Roy loves this board game media. Like, he is one of the most deserving people I could think of for this job or any other job in the industry. And so I'm beyond excited for him, beyond proud of him, beyond elated for him. Like, this is such a blessing. This is going to be like so great for him. Like, how many of us get to say we're living out our dream, right? And the fact that one of my good friends is able to do that just like means the world to me. Like, I'm, like when you look back on somebody's life and you can be like, man, I remember when. I remember when Roy was hustling and stacking pallets on a box, or stacking boxes on a pallet 50 plus hours a week, working at night, taking care of his kids during the day, trying to do the board game media, trying to do all this stuff. Like, I was there, I remember that, and now he's able to do this. And so I am beyond excited for you, man. Of course, we're going to miss you.
Don't make me tear up, Rob.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want you to tear up or anything. I mean, we're going to miss you, but I honestly, even without this show, just knowing you as a person, I can't think of anybody else who deserves this more.
I don't know about deserve.
I'm just super proud for you. Super, super proud for you.
I mean, I'm definitely trying to make it happen, and now I'm trying to get all this stuff done. It's kind of crazy, too, because Rob's going to be my real estate agent for selling my house. So it's kind of funny. After all this time of talking about houses and all this stuff, it's like I really need a house sold real quick, and it's like Rob's like, okay, let's fill out the paperwork. Let's do all this stuff. So, and Rob put a sign out in my yard and everything. So I even know real estate agents.
Yeah. Are you at your house right now?
Yeah, I'm literally in my empty living room.
Did you get the rider from underneath the welcome mat?
I left it there. I guess I should get it out.
Just put it inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Anyway, super excited for you. Absolutely love you, man. And this is just giving me more of an excuse to go down to Florida for Dice Tower Con.
Yeah, for real. Like, everybody that's around here, everybody that's friends, like, I'm not going to go to all the conventions that the Dice Tower does, but I'm pretty sure the Dice Tower branded ones are going to be ones that I'm sure I'll be at, because Derek is going to be stepping down, and he's like a friend of the show. Like, I've hung out with Derek a bunch at all these different things.
He's a good guy.
And he's a super awesome guy, and it's going to be sad to see him go, but it's going to be awesome to see what we can do with the Dice Tower and all the different things that happen with that. So super excited for all those things, and definitely make sure to hit me up at Dice Tower Con, especially if you're like local here. I'll miss hanging out with everybody. Because we've got a bunch of different gaming guys. I mean, I don't get to game with everybody as often as I want, but we get to see people at the Recon that I do, and then like Mace and things like that. It's cool to see the same people often from around in this area. So,
oh yeah,
International Tabletop Day, all that sort of stuff.
Adam, speaking of D&D, if you don't give my character a break for all the crap, all the pushing, all the everything, I even said that to Adam in the car after I got done pushing it. I was like, bro, I just need 5 minutes to let my legs thaw for a second. I was like, if you don't give T a break on our next session, I'm gonna kill you. Like, this is so bad. James, no, Matt and I do not get our own dice now. Matt and I are not part of the Dice Tower like Roy is.
I could be, but it's a lot of work. You have to do a lot more content.
We could be, but here's the thing, like, I love board games, and I love the podcast because of you guys. And Roy also loves you guys, and so does Matt. But like, Roy's definitely more into it for the board games as well as the people. I'm really into my writing. I've got a book coming out next year that's been picked up by a publisher, as well as because of this family emergency, as of a couple of hours ago, I now own a real estate company. We had to buy everything early and do all this kind of stuff because I have to leave. I won't be here. So I own my own business. I don't have the same amount of time to be able to dedicate it. and Roy was just he was able to get it done. But with all my other projects, I'm also very involved at my church. I run the men's group at our church and stuff like that, and so I've got that, and I've got a lot going on. So I'm flattered, but I'm more than happy of just being an EGN guy. I'm more than happy to be Roy's bodyguard, because I'm a big guy, and so I'll just be his bodyguard, and I'll be the guy that, like,
you just have to carry me around on your back, and I'll try not to steal your tooth necklace.
yeah, that's exactly right. But anyway, man, just between church, between the business, between my family, between being a dad, between writing a book, between everything else that I've got going on, the podcast is more than enough for me at this time. So
yeah.
And I mean, Roy, man,
we try to do a lot of like reviews and stuff together, and like Roy versus Robs and stuff like that. But I got so slammed with my work, I couldn't get the editing part of it done.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times when we did that, we had to do it during the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Because like I'd be out at night showing property, or you'd be at night working.
And I'd be like, let's put the kids down for a nap. Rob, come over real quick. We're going to shoot this video while my kids are sleeping. Or have my kids like try to keep them calm in the other room. Like the struggle has been real for some of this stuff. So.
Yeah. It's and that's also not fair, because like there have been times where we'll come do a review at your house, and like you're just waking up from getting off of work or other things like that. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not trying to like put us on a soapbox, but a lot of people don't realize like the things that it takes sometimes just to do this show. And the fact that now you're going to get paid, like actual paid to do this, man. Like, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Because I'll tell you this,
if my book ever becomes
a movie, I'm probably going to sit down from the podcast. If my book ever becomes a movie and I get to go on a movie set, I'm probably going to take a break from the podcast while I'm on that movie set. Like, that's my dream, to be able to write something that becomes a movie. Mm-hmm. So I can only imagine how excited you are that you're now living out your dream to work in the board gaming industry. Like, that's hype. And guys, this next secret that we can't even tell you, it's even more mind-boggling. Like this is great. Yay for Roy. But this next secret that we can't even mention is like, boom. And I know about it. And I want to be like, blah, and I'm not allowed to do that. But I am so happy for you, bro. Man, Roy. As soon as you say Rob, you can say something. I'll be like, blah, 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 blah.
You'll have to remind me of all the chronicles of things that happened with all this stuff, because at that point I'll probably just have forgotten everything.
Oh, it's so big. I'm so happy for you, man. Like, if people could just understand the tsunami that was like a 2-week process for Roy, like within 2 weeks, major life-changing things have happened to you, man.
I mean, I technically also got a promotion at my current job, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, and have you
because I wasn't sure about the whole Dice Tower thing, and the day that I applied to be part of the Dice Tower, my current job came to me to give me a promotion. And I was like, well, I don't know about the Dice Tower. Might as well go interview for it. I interviewed for it and like got the job. But the job that I got still isn't going to be as profitable or even nearly as much of a dream as working for the Dice Tower was. So not only did I get a promotion, then I also get to go do the Dice Tower stuff too. It's just going to like crazy. So literally insane.
Yeah.
Nope, not another kid. No more kids. I love my children, but
yeah, no, not another kid. Adam knows what it is, but that's because Adam was here.
Lizards on the windows down in Florida.
Yes. Anyway, super excited.
I love that. I was just staring, and Krista was just staring, and Rob goes, "Adam, you're not allowed to say that." If you listen to our last D&D episode, I told Adam right before, and then Adam was like, "You're gonna know you're going down to Florida soon," and we're just like, "Ah!"
Yeah. Oh man, good times. So yeah, do we want to do? What's the last name? I know the first name because I say the first name all the time. I need to pull up. I'll pull up on the old email, but I feel like we should do this week.
Cool. Well, I'll start to close us out while you're looking up that information.
Yes.
But yeah, this has been an awesome podcast. Got to hear all about Cabin Con. I'm sad that I missed out. Like literally, I have to get out of this house as fast as possible. So I moved all of my furniture out. My arms are super sore, and I was like, wife, let me go see Rob and Adam. Adam flew all the way. Like, I have to see those guys. And Dustin, because like Dustin and those guys have been like part of my gaming friends for like forever, and I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see him is. I hope that like Dustin can find a way to come to Dice Tower Con or something. Now you have to hit him up, Rob, when you guys are coming. Be like, yo, Dustin, let's ride a Dice Tower Con.
Oh yeah.
But
we'll have to try to make that happen.
But yeah, he's gone to Gen Con with us before, so it would be really cool to
yeah, he went this past year with you guys.
It was, which year was it? Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was this year.
It wasn't this year, but it was the year before that he went with us. So that was awesome. But yeah, so definitely lots of exciting stuff coming up. But if you want to check out the podcast, we stream these live Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/Epic Gaming Night. We should probably, Rob, what's your schedule for next week? Do you think you're just going to be blasted? We might need to take some time off, seeing that next week we're both going to be busy. I'm going to be in my mother-in-law's house since I'm moving out of this house. I don't think the internet connection is going to be very well there. The week after that is Christmas, so make sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram. We'll be posting
next week may not be great
to figure out the stuff. And the week after that is straight up, it is Christmas Day, and we're probably not going to be streaming on Christmas Day. Actually, I know we're not going to be streaming on Christmas Day.
No, but we may try to do something one day next week or something, because I definitely want to do like a top games of the year before the year's out. But no, my wife, if you guys don't mind, I'll just get a little. My wife's grandpa had a massive heart attack, and so we are. They called in the family, and we are driving to. We have a 14-hour drive tomorrow, but we're trying to make it in time to say goodbye before he passes on. And so, any thoughts and prayers would be greatly appreciated. Also, because our state just had a record-setting snow day, and we have to drive through the mountains. And so we just got a lot going on, and so. Yeah, we just found all this out, and so that's why we're signing all this paperwork and getting all this work done before we head to Arkansas. And so I say that to say I don't know what I'm going to be doing next week, if we're going to be at a funeral or what's going to be happening. So to say that is just like I don't know what's going on. And my family situation growing up wasn't the greatest, and these people were. I was blessed beyond belief with an amazing wife. Adam can attest to that. I'm definitely out of my league, and her family has been nothing but fantastic with me, and these grandparents with me. Bro, funny story. So I was a huge city boy growing up. When I go fishing, I don't like to take my fish off the hook because I won't touch it because it feels weird to me. And these grandparents, my father, my grandpa-in-law, who's my grandpa, he's my pawpaw, who just had the heart attack. Like him and Momo, they would take the fish off for me. And I'm like this big 6'4", 300-pound like football player. I'm like, oh, get this fish, and it's like not even that big of a fish, right? And I'm like, oh, get this fish off for me, and they I don't know, they just kind of took me in almost like I was like a grandkid, and I absolutely love them to death, and they are super loved, and I know where they're going, and so I'm excited to see them again one day. But still the flesh, we're gonna miss them. So anyway,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so. Yeah, we got that going on, but let's talk about something amazing.
Yeah, we do want to say thank you to all of our amazing patrons who help support the show, help us to keep doing what we're doing, help pay all the bills for internet and hosting fees and all that stuff.
Yes.
So thanks all you, but we do want to recognize our patron of the week.
We have a patron of the week, and let me tell you this.
Rob had to move the microphone closer.
I don't believe personally in like the Norse gods or the old gods, but if they were true, this person would be a goddess. This woman, and it's a woman. This woman is absolutely.
You're sure this time?
She is freaking amazing. This woman, listen, this chick has the power to create life. She has the power to be married to a man who still may not have painted his Gloomhaven mini. She has the power to be able to bring life and joy to this podcast. She lives on a whole nother continent. And I know she won't ever.
In the future.
I know she lives on the other continent now.
Well, I mean, in the future, because the time zone is very.
Oh, that's
far
right.
ahead.
Yeah, she is in the future, and she won't admit to this. But I want to say that she's the governess of that continent. Like, she's in charge. Like, whoever their president is or whatever, they run stuff by this young lady. And if you don't know who I'm talking about no other than the amazing, wonderful, powerful board gamer girl herself, Ashley Pradella. Ashley, you are such an awesome hero to this freaking podcast. I remember, I think it was like a year or two ago, when I told Roy, I was like, man, have you seen this girl, Ashley, the board game girl, on Instagram? She's got like 10,000 followers. Like, she's this big deal. Like, oh my gosh, man.
And now if you said 10,000 followers, she'd just be like, psh, ha, 10,000.
Yeah, like, at the time, like, it was nothing for her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, she's this big deal. And like, to me, she was like one of the social media like people that I was excited about. And the fact that she listens to our show, come on. Like, no way, dude. She listens to our show. Like, get out of town. And she listens to our show while she's at work, where she could get in trouble. Because there are times, I don't know if you guys ever pay attention in chat, she's like, oh, hey, I got to go to a meeting. Or, hey, I got to go do this. Like, how freaking awesome is that? That
she
we
did
have
Favorite Game Friday for a while, too.
Oh, yeah, she did.
And I was just like, yes, Australian accent.
Like, I am humbled and blown away. Ashley, you are absolutely amazing. And if your husband has not painted those minis yet, you know what?
There's not even that many minis in that game.
There's not. It's Gloomhaven. There's not even that many
minis. It's mostly cardboard standees for the bad guys.
I would remind him who you are. Like, look, boo. There are plenty of other fish out in the sea. You guys are on an island continent. Plenty of other fish. Find you a man that can paint minis. Find you a man. Because I'll tell you what. They're lining up. He just doesn't see them, but they're lining up. Ashley, you are amazing. You are such a sweet soul. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for talking with us and hanging out with us and just being who you are and putting up with us. I can't believe that you do that. And to all of our patrons, all of the patrons, guys, I cannot stress this enough. We do this because of you guys. We're not doing we do this because of you. And so, and that was another thing that was really cool about this weekend, and we were talking about it. Adam and Mark came to a cabin in the middle of the woods because of this show. I never would have met Adam Sparks, a.k.a. Adam Sparkles, unless it was for this show. Like, how amazing is this board gaming community where strangers, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I've never been to Adam's house. He could live around the corner from me here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He could be some creep who's just following us and stalking us, you know. And he slept in my house. He slept next to my daughter's bedroom because he got snowed in. But, like, all this happened because of this show and bringing us together. And I am beyond thankful, and I love it. And I love you guys, and you mean the world. Whether you're a patron or whether you're not, whether you just listen to the show, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Have an awesome and Merry Christmas, and thank you for putting up with us.
Awesome, guys. Definitely make sure to check us out on all of our social media to keep updated with what we're doing. Make sure to check out writing.newman on Instagram.
That's what it is for now. Yes.
For now. And at Epic Gaming Night.
Well, I have another one.
I'm going to try to make sure to post some stuff, updates about moving and getting all the move and stuff down. All my board games are currently packed up, so it's hard for me to take pictures of board game stuff going on. It's kind of like, hey, I'm packing everything up to go do more board game stuff, but for the meantime, I get to do less board game stuff. Wah, wah.
Okay, but here's the other thing. So you're talking about, oh man, should I keep this game? Should I not keep this game? You're going to an area where it's probably one of the largest privately owned board game collections ever in the world.
Oh yeah, I know. It's one of the things
I'm not even talking about Tom. I'm talking about Jason.
Dude, and Jason was like, just let me know. I'll come over every day and we can play games. If you need somebody to play games with, I'm like, okay, Jason. Okay, cool. Okay.
No, and he will. He will. Like, every single day. Like, you're going to be game overload, bro. It's like all the time.
Nice. I'm excited.
And I want to, after you play with him, because I know Tom and them say that he's really good.
My Keyforge stuff is in my backpack that I keep my laptop with, which is what I'm currently using. So my Keyforge stuff's going to be with me all the time. So.
Well, good. So anyway, you're going to have plenty of board games. Like, your collection, once you get there, it's going to be like, they're going to be like, oh, that's cute.
Oh yeah, I'm getting rid of. I met somebody in a Wendy's parking lot and sold $190 worth of my games, and they were really good games. And it makes me sad, but I can't take all the stuff down there when Tom has it sitting on the shelf right beside me. You know, it's like they already have all this stuff. I'm just gonna keep like my very favorite ones.
Well, and you're gonna be playing a lot with them, And here's the other cool thing, man. Screw you, bro. You're gonna be playing next to there's cool stuff stores down there. That's not even fair. Bro, that's I say screw you, but I mean that like in a good way. Like, yeah, I'm happy for you, but that's like awesome. You're gonna be next to like an FLG for real.
And I mean, Tom only gets like all the games like multiple weeks before anybody else. So
yeah,
you thought it was bad with me. Now it's
all right, whatever.
Worse.
All right, now I'm depressed. All right,
but hey, hopefully it'll make good content for the show. I can be like, hey, I saw Tom play that.
You're gonna be like, oh, I played this brand new game. We're going to be like, we're still playing Blood Rage. Yeah.
Dude, hey, I am excited about the new Blood Rage stuff, though.
Man, I'm glad I backed it. And I got a bunch of new stuff coming. There's even more exclusive stuff coming out. I don't know if you've been following it, but they made more monsters, not just female monsters of the old one.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Like, it's all brand new stuff.
Like a brand new giant that's never been out before.
Like this boar creature thing.
Yes, doesn't he look cool?
They all look awesome. And I backed for $1, hoping I can get on the pledge manager, but I'm moving, and I also need to pay deposit for
created like this new token, but on the picture of the token they just put a question mark. They're like, yeah, we never thought we would make this far, so we don't even know what it's going to look like, but you guys unlocked it.
Nice.
Like, that's awesome.
Dude, I wish they would have just gone straight up full on expansion, but.
We'll see. Cool. I'll tell you this. They got almost $1 million again on this.
Right. And this is supposed to be the digital game.
Yeah, I think that may bring on an expansion of sorts. We'll see.
They should do it because I would have to. Like, it's kind of cool that there's these cool new cards or whatever. Okay, that's cool. Or these cool new guys. I'm excited about that. But, like, if they were, like, 100% new expansion, I'd be like, I have to click that button. Just like Rising Sun. Like, everybody was on board on Rising Sun day one. It would be the same thing with Blood Rage expansion. So, cool, man. Awesome. Well, thanks, everybody, for joining us. You're all the best.
Oh, you're going to live near Nick. Nick lives, well, not near him, but he lives in Florida. He lives in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Or near Orlando.
I'm going to be like 4 hours away.
I see his posts all the time going to Universal and stuff like that. I stalk Nick. That's right. I stalked you a little bit.
We're going to come stay at your house when we go to Disney. I hope you don't mind. I only have 2 toddlers. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, and Liz lives down there too? Man, you're going to be set.
Hype.
All right, everybody. Have an amazing night. We'll see you guys. We'll let you know. We'll try to let you know as soon as possible if we're going to do a show next week or not.
Yeah. See you later. Peace.
Peace.